Welcome, everyone, to the L7C Podcast NFL Playoff Edition. Today, we are going to be, it's already conference championship previews already. Jeez, time flies. We're going to be previewing the AFC and NFC championship games, and we're also going to be giving a recap of the divisional round. We have the NFL expert with us, Justin Ackendale. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm still trying to recover from all the games this past weekend, man. They were all insane.
So let's just start off. Best divisional round of your lifetime?
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of a better one where all four games came down to the last play.
Yeah, all came down to the last play. In 3 of the 4 games, the field goal was kicked with 4 seconds left.
Yeah, and then in the Chiefs game, they scored the last touchdown in overtime. Yeah, they all came down the last play.
Well, Matt, let's get right into it. Let's get right into these games. Let's start off, Justin. Take us through a hometown team for you. The Bengals were at the Titans. Titans were the number 1 seed in the AFC. Derrick Henry just came back, and Bengals pulled it out, man. How did they do it?
I really don't know. If we're being real, if we're being completely honest, the Bengals had no business winning this game. They won the game 19-16. Tannehill threw 3 picks. He threw a pick on the first play of the game, which was honestly awful. The Bengals gave up 9 sacks. And I got a couple numbers. Teams that allow 7 or more sacks in the game are 24, 186, and 3. Since 2002. It's a .124 winning percentage from Football Outsiders. Like, when you give up that many sacks, you don't win the game. Mm-hmm. And the Bengals somehow won the game. They only scored 1 touchdown. Everything else was field goals. But, Tennessee really didn't do nothing with it either. It honestly just came down to those 3 turnovers by Tannehill.
So then Cincinnati, they win their first playoff game last time in like 30-something,
31 years.
31 years. And then they win their first away playoff game
ever.
And now they're in the AFC championship game. Justin, this team is way ahead of schedule.
Yeah, if you're a Bengals fan, like, you should be happy with just making it to the AFC championship game, because you're like, this is like 2 years ahead of schedule if you're a Bengals fan. The offensive line is still terrible, because like going into the draft this year, like everyone was wanting
Penei Sewell over Chase.
Yeah, Penei Sewell over Chase, which obviously you couldn't have went wrong either way. Jamar Chase, it just added a complete different dimension to the team. He didn't. He had over 100 yards in this divisional game, but he wasn't like eating like he has been. And then T. Higgins was basically the go-to guy with 9 catches and with 7 catches and 96 yards, and Jamar Chase had busted out a 57-yard hitch, caught it for 3 yards and ran for another 50. So as long as they got those receivers and Joe Burrow, and they can do something with the line, they're going to be in this spot a lot in the future.
The Bengals right now have the best. Do they have collectively the best offensive firepower in the game? The 3 receivers, Higgins, Chase, Boyd. Then you got Mixon in the backfield. Like, do they have the best offensive tool set in the game right now?
Their 3 receivers are as good as any 3 receivers
absolutely
in the NFL. I'll just leave it at that. Their 3 receivers can go toe to toe with anyone else's 3 receivers. The Rams, Cowboys. I'm trying to think of some Tampa before AB left. Like, yeah, it's up there.
So then you go into the losing team, which it was still remarkable that they were able to get the number 1 seed when their best player was out for a bit. But this was a disappointing loss on their part. I still think Mike Vrabel should win Coach of the Year. But with Ryan Tannehill, that 3 picks, what do you do? Like, you're looking to potentially move off him and try and test the market? Like, what are you trying to do?
If Aaron Rodgers does end up leaving Green Bay, which we will get to that game next, I will be trying to replace him. Right now, I don't know what his contract's looking like. I'll have to look that up, but like, they might be very well stuck with him. So I mean, Derrick Henry wasn't 100%. I mean, their backup running back had 4 carries for 64 yards, and Derrick Henry had 20 carries for 62 yards. So
yeah,
he definitely wasn't 100% in that game. So yeah, I just think you running back with Tannehill, barring what I look at for this contract, if the quarterback free agency market is not a better option. I mean, I don't think Jimmy G is a better option than Tannehill. Who else might be potentially on the market? I don't think. I mean, they can get Deshaun Watson, but he has a lot of baggage, so I don't know if that will be possible.
What about Russell?
Russell Wilson's a good option if he does leave. I don't know if
There's
he's leaving.
all that chatter.
Yeah, like I don't know if he's leaving or not. Let me pull up this man's contract real quick. Let me see how much Tennessee is about to pay this man next year.
Because I mean, that was just a bad performance on the national stage too, and everyone's like, "This, you can't lose a game when your defense sacks the other player 9 times. That's just unacceptable."
No, absolutely not. And Tannehill's going nowhere because they will have 57 million dead cap, so he's not going anywhere. No. Dude, 29 million next year.
And shout out to Evan McPherson for the field goal, the walk-off. He told his team when he was walking, looks like we're going to the AFC Championship game. So
he nailed every kick. If he doesn't have those 12 points, they don't win the game.
It's crazy. Going to the number 1 seed in the NFC, you got a game that's actually, if you've been paying attention to the NFL, this game has been played a little bit. The 49ers versus the Packers. Aaron Rodgers he's going to win MVP again. Number 1 seed, him and Devontae Adams posted the last dance pictures when the season started. So everyone thought this is going to be the last ride. It's Super Bowl or bust for them. And it was bust, man. Tell us about it.
And so Saturday night, Lambeau Field, 49ers, Packers. Packers haven't beat the 49ers in the playoffs and God knows how long. I don't think they ever have, actually. 49ers won the game 13-10. The Packers essentially scored on their first drive, scored a touchdown on their first drive, and didn't do a goddamn thing for the rest of the game. Both defenses played great. Rodgers was sacked 5 times. Jimmy G was sacked 4. The 2 defensive linemen for the 49ers, Eric Armstead and Nick Bosa, had a pair of sacks each. Eric Armstead, the past 3 games, has had a total of 5.5 sacks. Special teams just killed the Packers. One of our fans, Patrick, who is a Packers fan, said that it was going to do them bad in the playoffs, and that's kind of exactly what happens. At the end of the second quarter, Jimmy G throws a pick in the red zone, and the Packers.
That was bad. That was a bad
one. Yeah, in the second quarter, Jimmy G throws a pick in the red zone, and Aaron Rodgers drives the ball down to kick a field goal. That ends up getting blocked. Nothing really happens in the third quarter. And then we get to the fourth quarter where Corey Borjanegas, I know I didn't say his last name wrong, blocks a punt, and then Jordan Willis returns it for a touchdown. So the game is
10-10 at that point.
Yeah, the game's 10-10 at that point. With about 4 minutes left, Rodgers gets the ball back, does nothing. Jimmy gets the ball back, throws it to Kittle, throws it to Samuel, and then on the third down, guy have it play to win the game. They hand the ball off to Deebo Samuel. The man can catch the ball, he can run the ball, gets a 9-yard gain. They run it into the middle of the line for a couple plays, kick the field goal, and the snow is coming down at that point. Robbie Gould drills it up to upright. Funny stats about this game: Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams both had 11 targets each. Both had 9 catches. Everyone else had a total of 6 targets.
Lazard was out, right? If I remember. Yeah, I believe he was out because I'm pretty sure they made a big deal about he is a good third option.
No, he played.
Oh, he played? Who was out for Green Bay?
He played. He got a target. One.
Oh, wow. Well,
one catch. One catch, 6 yards. No, he played.
Might as well as not played. Justin, man, we talked about this.
Oh, yeah, I got another stat before you go on this.
Oh, go ahead.
This loss makes Aaron Rodgers 0-4 in playoff games against the 49ers. He lost in the 2012 divisional round against them, the 2013 wild card, and the 2019 NFC Championship game before this fourth loss. All right.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this, that nobody wanted to play the 49ers when entering the playoffs because they were surging in the right direction. And I mean, I've seen Aaron, obviously, we've all seen Aaron lose to this team, especially the 2019 one. That was a shellacking. But I don't know if this is more about 49ers really catching their stride. Everyone's healthy. They're in the NFC Championship game after last year, everyone not being healthy. But I feel like this is more about the Packers and Aaron. Like, again, you did all that work to host the home playoff game and you lose. And this has been going on since that Super Bowl against the Steelers, who Ben Roethlisberger retired as of today as well. Every playoff since then has just been failure.
Playoff disappointment after playoff disappointment. I mean, it's bad. Like, the man has a decade of not going to the Super Bowl in the NFC. I mean, Falcons in that time went to the Super Bowl with Matt Ryan. Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl in that time. Russell Wilson beat them a couple times. End up going. The Rams have been through. It's just the Rams.
49ers.
The 49ers. The Rams with Jared Goff, by the way, who we all know who I feel about Jared Goff. So, yeah, man, it's definitely an indictment on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I just don't know how you let the 49ers come into your place in the cold. So, I mean, they ain't used to that cold shit. Like, yes, their playing style is probably better for that, but you just can't let that happen, man. You gotta pass the ball to more people. Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams can't get all the targets.
And with all the chirping that happened this offseason, the beautiful mystery, this, that, he was just as vocal as he's ever been.
I'm immunized.
Yes, that. And then to go, and he's going to win MVP again. And it's kind of crazy because obviously he's not the greatest player or quarterback of all time, like accolades, all this stuff. It's Tom Brady. So then you could say, so some people try to say he's the greatest, like, regular season quarterback, all that. That's impossible because that's Peyton Manning. And Peyton Manning has more Super Bowls than Aaron Rodgers. Peyton Manning has more appearances in the Super Bowl than Aaron Rodgers. So where the hell, like, where you put him legacy-wise? He's not the greatest of all time in postseason. He's not the greatest. Can't say he's the greatest regular season. Like,
the boy is talented.
Oh, he's the most. Can you even say he's the most talented now? Because there's a guy in Kansas City who we're going to be talking about.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to, like, maybe, I can't just say contend, but maybe contend with some of the shit that Brady does. And he's a way better player, just pure talent-wise.
He's already been to but we're going to throw that stat already with Tampa Bay. I mean, not with Tampa Bay, I'm sorry, with Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, since he started in the playoffs, he's only lost 2 playoff games, and they were both to Tom Brady. AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then that AFC Championship game, the reverse happened. Tom Brady got the ball, and Patrick Mahomes didn't get the ball. So,
and also that shouldn't even have gone to overtime. They got called for the offsides on the Patriots on 4th down.
Well, you know, Russ be fucking up, like.
Like that's a whole other thing. I'm just saying he's already been to 2. And I was talking to some people, man. This is the NFL. Winning is hard. Making the playoffs is harder. Winning a playoff game is harder than that. And the Super Bowl is just the hardest thing to win in American team sports.
Yeah, I mean, the Packers really don't have an excuse for this one. Like,
no,
everyone was healthy. Like, all your guys came back. Like, injuries weren't a problem. Being on the road wasn't a problem. I mean, Aaron Rodgers been bitching about his toe all goddamn year, but he looks fine to me. The man looks fine to me. Like,
and he's going to win MVP back to back, which I think would give him 4.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched Aaron Rodgers all these years, so he's definitely going to be in my top 5, regardless of like all the losing, because I've seen it. But like, yeah, 20 years from now, maybe the kids who like haven't seen him play, they're gonna look at his playoff record like, oh, this guy wasn't that good. Like, He wasn't Tom Brady. I mean, he's not Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's what they're going to say.
When you brought up those other teams that have gone besides Aaron, did we forget to bring up the freaking Giants? And they won the Super Bowl.
The Packers lost to them. Going just leading up to that.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's bad. Like, I don't know. Like, but at the end of the day, is he really going to leave? I mean, the Packers are a good team. The Packers are a good team. I mean, he's saying that he probably doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. Are they really rebuilding? Like, you give him a couple more receivers that he likes.
I don't think they could afford that. I think their situation's pretty a little rough financially. Like, obviously, you have to keep Devontae Adams, and then you keep Aaron, and then some people are going to be gone. It is what it is. But if you can keep the core people, they should be right back contending.
I mean, yeah, you probably won't be able to keep Aaron Jones and some of the defenders like Darius Smith and those type of guys, but you still have, like, you drafted AJ Dillon last year. He proved that he's a pretty good running back too. So,
and Justin, when I was thinking about Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think I've heard anyone make this comparison because people were, I don't know why, because when Peyton Manning retired, everyone's like, oh, is Tom versus Aaron? Aaron Rodgers, because people use this same argument for Tom Brady when he was with the Patriots. He was in the AFC East. They'd win that division. So then you just have to win one home game to get to the AFC Championship game, and anything's possible, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers was in the trash-ass NFC North with all they have to do is win that division, which they've done a lot since he's been there. Win one game to then get to the NFC Championship game, and then anything's possible. Sometimes they have, a lot of these times they haven't. So I don't think people have made that comparison because Detroit's been really bad. That's a bottom feeder. Minnesota's had their couple of one or two times. Chicago had that one time with Mitch Trubisky, but Aaron Rodgers was hurt that year. Any year that Aaron Rodgers is healthy, mostly or not, they've won the NFC North. He's had the same almost situation as Tom in the AFC when he was in the AFC East and couldn't get to the Super Bowl. It's not like he's starting at the 6th seed, climbing his way up every year.
The funny thing is, when he was like he was a 6th seed when he won the Super Bowl. They were on the road all the playoffs, and then that next year, the 15-1 season, 2011, and they lose their first game to the Giants.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you make a very good point. Like, he's been in a not good division. I mean, Detroit's a drag. The Bears are mostly a drag, except for the Matt Nagy's first year with Mitchell Trubisky, and the Vikings are consistently mediocre. So they're either going to be good one year or bad the next year. So yeah, he doesn't have an excuse for not at least getting back to another Super Bowl. Like, I hate to say this, but it might be a mental block they just can't get over.
I mean, you got rid of McCarthy, you got LaFleur now, you got the team, man. They have the team to do it.
They do. I mean, LaFleur is money in the regular season. So I don't know what they do, but it's bad.
And Aaron, who goes on Pat McAfee's show every Tuesday, has his own freaking segment there, basically. Says he'll make his decision pretty soon or whatever. So maybe February after the Super Bowl. But then again, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is going to do that shit the day
Super Bowl week. I think he'll do Super Bowl week. Just like with the draft. When there reports that they're trying to trade him to San Fran, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? F it, I want to leave." Took the draft away from everybody.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
But let's go down to Tampa with GOAT Tom Brady and Justin, your fake news team, the Rams. They're nuts. They're still fake. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's fair.
They're still fake, but Justin, man, I want to just say a couple things, and I'm going to throw it to you for the analysis. The Rams were up 27-3. Like, I already grabbed the controller, put them on my iPad, was watching the game. But then in that third quarter, when I saw that look on Tom Brady's face when he was sitting on the bench, And I was like, oh, I need to switch it back to the TV because he has that I am not going to go out like this look. And go ahead, Justin.
He was about to go out like that. But the Rams said, we're going to help you a little bit. We're going to help you come back into this game. I mean, the Rams were fucking dog stomping them. I mean, the defensive line was all over Tom Brady. There's stuff in the run. Like, it was bad, but so it's 27-3 with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. And then the Bucks go on a 24-0 run.
Mm-hmm.
After the Bucks cut the lead at 27-6, Cooper Kupp, who offensive player of the year, if he don't get that award, I don't know who else should. They're probably going to give it to a quarterback. It's bullshit.
He's going to give it to Aaron.
You can't give that man MVP and offensive player of the year. Go on with that. But yeah, he fumbles. They get the ball back. They go down the field after the fumble. Fournette gets a 1-yard touchdown round one. Next drive, the Rams punt it back to the Bucks, and then Von Miller gets a strip sack. Gets a strip sack on Brady. The very next play, the Rams center just tosses the ball over Stafford's head, and Jason Pierre-Paul recovers the fumble. Bucks next drive, they turn it over on downs. Rams drive the ball after that possession, miss a field goal short, 47 yards. I was watching that shit. I was like, huh? That didn't go in? NBC had it short. I was like, wow. Bucks after that missed field goal, turnover on downs again. Next drive, Rams punt. With about 3 minutes left, Tom Brady hits Mike Evans for a 55-yard touchdown. It's 27-20 now. It's like, oh shit.
You start feeling it. Man,
you start getting tight. You're like, oh shit. Not again. He won't go away. He just won't go away. And then the Rams are just trying to stop the clock at this point. There's only 3 minutes left. Then Ndamukong Suh strips Cam Akers. Like, just an arm out of nowhere. He's going up. It's like a 5-yard gain. Sue comes out of nowhere, swipes the ball. Fumble. Then Brady gets it down the field for another Fournette touchdown run.
That was on 4th down.
Yes.
That was on 4th and inches. Yes. If they stop him, the game's over.
Yeah, another 4th down. So the game's tied with 42 seconds left. Rams get the ball back. My offensive player of the year, Cooper Kupp, catches a 20-yard pass and then a 44-yard pass from Matt Stafford, and then the Rams get the field goal to win the game. Just drunk.
Justin, I do want to say before the passes, you did skip where Matt Stafford got sacked and he fumbled, but he was able to recover it. Can you imagine if they do not recover that? That whole team, I'd have to exile him from the league.
Yeah.
Because he fumbled.
Then they would have been the biggest fake news team of all time. That one came out here and skewered everyone. But they got the win.
They got the win, but it's a fact that I always say winners get to choose. Like, they're the ones who decide what history says of them. They like, I thought they were going to be done. I didn't think they were going to pass. I was like, all right, Matt Stafford got sacked on 1st down. We're going to try and take this to overtime. But I feel like the Rams, they looked over and saw the way 12 was playing. They're like, if we lose this coin flip, we're going to lose.
I mean, that's partly how they were coming back. Like, the Rams started playing soft on defense. They didn't have the same like intensity they did in the first half because they were up by fucking 24 points. So you do take your foot off the gas a little bit, but like in that moment, I mean, we all felt it at home. They felt it on the field. Like, we cannot let this go in the OT. Like, they knew it. They knew.
And we were just talking about Aaron Rodgers the previous segment. You see the difference. Tom Brady did not have his full team healthy at all.
No.
And they took, and if it's one fumble, you get that one Stafford fumble, and they win that game.
Nope, his offensive line was compromised. Chris Godwin wasn't there. AB walked off the field 3 weeks ago. Like, he definitely didn't have it. He didn't have his backup running back. Like, and Tom Brady, like, this is the difference. He just finds a way. He just finds a way. And I mean, kudos to him for even coming back in that game because I was like you. I thought the game was over. I had a game. I had a basketball game to ref, and and they had a little TV back there. I'm just watching this shit. I'm like, this game ain't over yet. He's about to come back. What is going on? And then I finally like watched the highlights today and see how it shaked out. I was like, oh my God. Like, yeah, man, it was Rams would have been getting scored bad if they would have lost that game.
I mean, the Rams have been Super Bowl or bust all season. They sold their whole life away. They got Matt Stafford. They got Odell. They got Von Miller. Like, they don't have any picks for what, the next 3-5 years? Something crazy?
Yeah, they don't got first-round picks for a minute.
So this is Super Bowl or bust. They sold everything. And they did it. Matt Stafford, who people have talked about, he made those throws when it mattered. And Cooper Kupp, not only should he win Offensive Player of the Year, he should at least be in the top 3 to 5 in MVP voting.
Yeah,
but
they might get back to Stafford. Stafford did have a good season.
So they move on. And with Brady and them, and now the stuff talking, you see the interview he had, talking about his wife, his kids, and all of that. Justin, do you think he's going to be done? I mean, he has 0 10 Super Bowl appearances, 7 rings.
That man ain't going nowhere.
Really?
I mean, you come back from that game, like, like some of your people your team wasn't 100%, like.
But they can't run it back 100% next year as they did this year.
Man,
people are going to be gone. Godwin's probably going to get a new deal from somebody. Brian Leftwich is going to be a head coach probably somewhere. Todd Bowles might be a head coach. Like, do you really want to come back to that? And obviously, AB's gone.
I don't see him leaving. He's a free agent after this year. I mean, shit. Tom Brady might try to go somewhere else. He might try to go to another contender and do the same thing he did with Tampa, become TB12, the mercenary. Cowherd was saying this week, shit, he might try to go to the 49ers if they are tired of Jimmy G. And I like Tom Brady on the 49ers.
I mean, that's some people I heard talking about Aaron Rodgers should try and go to the 49ers. I was like, oh, we doing some Kevin Durant? We're going to the team that beat you? That's what we're doing?
This is football. That's completely saying. Okay. This ain't basketball.
I'm just saying. I just wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it.
This ain't basketball where you gotta be a team 4 times. This is football where anything can happen. I would take my ass right over to San Francisco. Can't beat them, join them. They do it all the time in the NFL.
It's not even anything to happen with Aaron. It's death, taxes. He loses to the 49ers every time.
So you take that variable out, and just join the team.
But then he can hurt his legacy because then if he goes there and he doesn't win, that's even worse.
I personally don't think Aaron Rodgers gives a damn about his legacy.
And do you really want to go? First of all, you're leaving and someone brought up, you're going to leave your weak division to go to the NFC West?
I mean, if Russell Wilson isn't there anymore, that division isn't as strong, but that's a division with at least 3 good quarterbacks and 1 very decent one, and Jimmy G.
The NFC West is the whole NFC Championship game.
Yeah, be like that sometimes.
Which we'll get to that, but there's still one more game that happened over the weekend, and it was funny enough too. It was the last game. It was the Sunday night game. Justin, take it away.
Oh my God, this game. This game was good. Holy shit. The Chiefs won 42-36. I mean, what a game. Buffalo had 422 total yards. Kansas City had 552. Josh Allen, 27 for 37, 329 yards, 4 touchdowns, 11 carries, 68 yards. Mahomes, 33 for 44, 378 yards, 3 touchdowns, 7 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown. These guys were going at it. I mean, pressure was not a thing for them. They were just eluding it, getting up in the pocket, throwing it, running it, doing what they had to do. I'm just going to start recapping the game from the fourth quarter with the first stupid play that I saw in this game. So the game is 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's 23-21 Chiefs, and the Bills are getting ready to punt. These idiots kick the ball to Tyreek Hill. I know he hasn't scored as many return touchdowns as Devin Hester back in the day, but that's the fastest man in the NFL. And that nigga is strong body. He's hard to bring down too. They kick it to him and he takes it 46 yards to the Bills' 16-yard line. But the Chiefs cancel out that dumb decision with another dumb coaching decision because on that same drive, 3rd and 1, instead of keeping your hot quarterback in the game, they try to run a stupid option with the backup tight end at QB. So they end up kicking the field goal because they obviously didn't get it. So it's 26-21 KC. Bills driving down the next drive. It's about 2 minutes left at the KC 27 on 4th and 13. Allen hits Gabriel Davis with a 27-yard touchdown. His 3rd touchdown, by the way. There's about 2 minutes left in the game. I'm like, oh shit. Bills scored too early. Kansas City got all 3 timeouts. It's bad. Then Kansas City, without using any timeouts, they go back and score on a 64-yard Hill touchdown pass. Throws up the peace sign with a minute left, but the Bills have three timeouts left with a minute left. I'm like, you left too much time for Josh Allen now. Oh, you about to say something?
I want you to say the next play, then I'm going to ask you a question because I've actually been debating what I was about to say in my head. Which just go ahead, go talk about what the Bills did.
Okay, so the Bills have too much time. So Allen drives it down, gets it all the way down, and he scores it on 19-yard touchdown to Gabriel Davis again for his 4th touchdown. It's now 36-33 with 13 seconds left.
Before we go any further, I've been debating this. Justin, what was more disrespectful? The peace sign or the freaking route that Gabriel Davis hit dude with that he got Allen Iverson ankle broke?
Definitely the Gabriel Davis.
That route was, oh my God.
There's no shame in getting outrun by Tyreek Hill. I mean, there just isn't. But Gabriel Davis, the Bills' 3rd receiver, cooking you like that, I think that's way more disrespectful in my
His
opinion.
ankles really got buckled. And he fell. Like AI hit him with a crossover on the court. He fell. When he did that, I literally jumped up and was screaming, holy shit.
I mean, to his defense, he had outside leverage and there was no one in the middle to like help. But yeah, it was bad. He got cooked.
By the third-rated receiver on the team. God, Jesus.
All right.
Go ahead. Continue.
So the game is the Bills are up by 3 at this point. There is 13 seconds left. And me and Biggie were about to debate what everyone was debating about. But the
yes.
Kansas City, the Bills kick it, just straight up kick it to the Chiefs. It's a touchback, so no time is left off. Mahomes hits Tyreek Hill from 19 yards and Kelsey for 25. They're already in field goal range. And Harrison Butker, the Chiefs kicker, he had a bad day. He already missed a field goal and he missed an extra point. So, like, I'm watching the game thinking, oh, there's a lot of pressure on this game. They just got these cheap yards from the Bills playing a soft defense. He's going to miss it. Nah, he drills the kick. It's tied. We're going to overtime. Chiefs win the toss. That's the end of that game. Just incredible.
To the Cincinnati alum.
The whole recap was the last 8 minutes of the game. And then most of the action was in the last 2 minutes. Just crazy.
Patrick Mahomes threw 2 touchdowns and 188 yards in the 2-minute warning.
Yes, he did. In 2 minutes.
Yep. In 2 minutes, 188 yards, guys.
What's better? Him doing that or T-Mac scoring like 13 points in 9 seconds?
13 points and 33 against San Antonio Spurs. I would have to say it's this one just because the T-Mac game was in the regular season. If that was a playoff game to go to like the conference championship, I don't know, man. You know, basketball, something like football, like that was just bad. And this is also my thing too. I hate prevent defense. I hate backing like anyone. These quarterbacks are too good. You give them all that space, 5, 10, 15, 20 field goal range. Boom.
Yeah. They get them in chunks. They really do.
Like, they're too good right now. And for anyone out there who doubted Josh Allen, that has to be dead. I'm sorry.
Even if he lost the game, he played just as good as Patrick Mahomes. Just as good. If he gets the ball in overtime, the Bills win that game.
He had more touchdowns than incompletions in the playoffs in those 2 games total.
Yeah. Played 2 perfect games. I mean, the Patriots game, they didn't punt once. They didn't fumble, turn it over, nothing. Scored on the touchdown every possession.
And then Travis Kelce with the catch. I mean, Hill, Kelce. Hardman had a good game too. He actually had a pretty good game. Yeah,
Hard game too, man. Georgia players, man. I tell you.
Yeah, but Justin, man, what everyone's talking about, obviously the game, and is the overtime. Let's just get it out the way. They got the coin toss. They marched down. They scored a touchdown. Game was over. Josh Allen didn't get a chance to retort. This argument gets brought up every freaking time there's an overtime and someone gets it and scores on the first time. When they don't score on the first time, this argument's never brought up. What are your thoughts on overtime in the NFL?
For this game, personally, the ref was saying in the overtime period, this is a new game. We will play until there's a winner. So for that game only, I say you put 10 minutes on the clock and you play all 10 minutes, and whoever wins after the end of that 10-minute quarter wins the game.
Okay.
But in most instances, I do not care about the NFL overtime. If you let it get into overtime, the rule's the rule. Like there were plays in the game that they could have done to stop the Chiefs or the Bills. The Chiefs could have stopped the Bills. So there's so many things that happen throughout the course of a game. Like, if you let it get the overtime, you should be subjected to the rule, whatever the rule is. I don't care if it's not fair or not. Don't let it get the overtime if you don't want that. If you don't want that to happen, you're not getting the ball.
And Josh Allen even said if they got the coin flip, they'd be celebrating. So he knows what the rules is and all that. My thing too with overtime is that it's not that you get the coin flip and you instantly win the game. Typically, you kick the ball, you'll get it at like the 20. You have to drive 80 yards down the field to get a touchdown to win. There is a defense. You have a defense. If you hold them to a field goal, your team gets the ball back. So when are we going to start putting some stuff on the defense?
That's what I was saying. Like there's so many plays throughout the game. Like the missed extra point. If Kansas City doesn't miss that extra point, they win the game in regulation. So there's little things like that. Like there's 3 hours before that overtime period where you could have done something, you could have made a stop, you could have forced a turnover, and you didn't do it. And you got in the overtime and you're subjected to the rule. But I also wanted to bring up with the 13 seconds left, how everyone was just losing their mind about Buffalo kicking it to Kansas City, not trying to squib it and run clock off. I thought that was personally a good play because if you squib it and it only goes like 40 yards up, that's only one play that they have to make the get in the field goal range, in my opinion. And the way that they were moving it, they still had all 3 timeouts. They could have got that down there if they're like from their own 40.
Their own 40, that's one slant to Hill and he's gone potentially.
Yeah, I mean, guy get down, but yeah, so I didn't think that was a bad call at all. They just didn't execute on defense.
There is a their defense, but I get it. It'll be a debate for a while. I mean, this literally, you just said earlier in the episode, this literally happened to Patrick Mahomes with Tom Brady, and Kansas City tried to go to the NFL and change it, and they said no. Obviously, there's the players, whatever. Players Association, they can do it, go and talk to them. But if it gets changed, but if it doesn't, I'm not particularly mad about it either. Like you said, there's a defense. It's not like you're out there shooting free throws by yourself.
Yeah.
And if you make a free throw, you win the game. And if I do remember, didn't they change it to when we were younger? I thought you just needed if you scored first on the field goal, you won. If I remember that.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to you have to score a touchdown. on the very first possession of overtime.
Yeah, within the past decade, they fixed that rule. Because I remember a playoff game in like 03 Rams. That went double. They just couldn't score.
Yeah.
Because you literally just had to kick a field goal. Whoever scores first, sudden death.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, but I'm saying specifically for that game, I know player safety and all that nonsense, but you just put 10 minutes on the clock, and whoever wins after 10 minutes wins the game.
But now we got championships, man. We got the AFC championship game. We got the NFC championship game. Oh, before I go to that, this is the second time in a row, Mahomes and Allen, they're trying to say this is the new age Brady and Manning. Are you that close to even saying that?
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay.
They're going to be going at it for the next decade plus.
But will they be doing it consistently in these big games like Brady and Manning? Because there's some other quarterbacks who we're about to talk about. Burrow. There's a guy you're heavily fond of, and Justin Herbert, who's there. You obviously got, since he was hurt and sick and whatever, you got Lamar Jackson. There's a lot of young QBs, especially in the AFC. It's kind of crazy. Patrick Mahomes is almost the old guy in the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, it's been starting since 2018, so he ain't that damn old. But
I'm talking about in terms of winning wise. He's already been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1, 4 straight AFC championship games.
Yeah, I mean,
they're chasing him.
I mean, yeah, they are chasing him. He already has a Super Bowl, and he might get another one, but it's going to be Allen Mahomes, and then we're going to sprinkle in Burrow a couple times. We're going to sprinkle in Herbert a couple times. We're going to sprinkle in Lamar Jackson a couple times. Like, the AFC quarterbacks they're all young. Like, it's a problem wherever. I hate to keep bringing this man up, but Deshaun Watson, if he ever gets back on the team, like, that man can still play too. Like, yeah, it's tough in the AFC quarterback wise.
And they're still like the middle tier, which, I mean, you got Mac Jones. He's got a good team. They just got shellacked. So if he keeps better with Bell, depending on how long Bell wants to be, there's some teams, man. There's young guns around there.
Yeah, Mac Jones is not in that class yet.
No, he's not, but
he's not close.
He's
not close.
Hey, he was a rookie quarterback wise.
He just has Bill. I'm not talking.
That's all you need.
I'm not talking about Mac Jones in the hard quarterback conversation in the AFC.
Just give him some time. We'll see what he does. He's got the system in place for him. But Bengals Chiefs AFC Championship game, they literally just played each other, and Cincinnati came out on top. You already had the Chiefs are a 7-point favorite, which I honestly think is too high right now. But Justin, what are you thinking about this game?
Yeah, Bengals won week 17, 34-31. The last time they played before 2021 was in 2018 at Arrowhead, and that was Mahomes' first year, and they won 45-10. Chiefs are a 7-point favorite. But what the Bengals did in that week 17 game was telling, coaching wise, because they had the ball. They were down, only needed a field goal to win with about a minute left. And they made sure Patrick Mahomes did not get the ball back. They made sure that man did not get the ball back. But, I mean, I want the Bengals to win. I live in Cincinnati, but I just have a hard time seeing them win this game. I mean, the first game, the Bengals gave up 4 sacks. 4 sacks to the Chiefs. They gave up 9 last week, so I expect them to get pressure. To the Bengals' credit, the Chiefs can't stop Jamar Chase. He had 11 catches in the first game, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns. So they can't stop him. I think it's going to be more like the first game, just a complete shootout. But I think the Bengals do cover because 7 points is a lot in a shootout. And I see them keeping up with the Chiefs, and I see them giving them a good fight, but I just can't pick them now with the way the Lions been playing.
I don't know, man, because like you just said, they can't stop Chase. The Bengals just need to get one stop, and then this is tough. Because that offense is just... Is Tyrann Matthew going to be able to play?
He's still in concussion protocol, so if he don't play, the Bengals really might win the game. because I know the Chiefs won't be able to stop them. If the Bengals can keep overcoming their quarterback getting sacked all the time like they have been,
that's gonna be that's why we need to pay attention to. But I think Chiefs come out on top on a field goal. I don't think they cover either, but I could if I find out Saturday Jamar Chase is not. I mean, Tyrann Mathieu's not playing. That's just bad. Cincinnati might be going to the Super Bowl, which is crazy to say. Then we got round 3. It also they were a week after them because they just played a couple weeks ago.
They played in week 18.
The last week of the season. Yeah. 49ers need to win to go to the playoffs.
Rams up 17-0. This is why we think the Rams are fake news. Like, this is why the L7C faithful think the Rams are fake news. They were up 17-0 to the 49ers, and they came back and won in overtime 27-24. And then they almost blow it against the Bucks. I mean, I know it's Tom Brady, but like, they got to finish these games.
And thanks to the Rams, there was a lot of fan bases mad. Saints fan base because they didn't get in the playoffs. Cowboy fan base because y'all had to play the 49ers. There was a lot of Aaron Rodgers fan base because the 49ers were in because of the Rams.
Bro, Jimmy G is not. I'm not gonna say he's not good. That man can't complete some passes. He hasn't been good lately, man.
He hasn't. He's dealing with the injury as well. But it's the fact too, and we talked about the game earlier, and I talked about this just today too. He wasn't good Saturday, but when it came to that last drive and they needed a field goal, he got it done.
He got it to his guys. He knows in that 2-minute drill where George Kittle, where Debo. He got it to him.
So here we are again. The Rams could be the first team, I think, in NFL history to host the NFC Championship game and then host the Super Bowl back to back. Yeah, Justin, man, I don't know because the 49ers defense is absolutely no joke. I'm going to be honest. If the 49ers keep it close, they can do it again.
Yes, they can. I mean, the Rams haven't beat the 49ers since 2018.
Holy God.
They're 0-6 against them.
Oh, my God.
They haven't beat them since 2018. Like,
I saw something about how they asked Sean McVay if Kyle Shanahan was in his head. Now I see why. Good Lord.
Yeah, like, Shanahan owns McVay, but I think it's going to be close. I mean, it's their third time. I think the Rams are more talented.
Yes.
Especially at quarterback and wide receiver, especially. I think and definitely in the secondary. I give the 49ers an edge. Actually, I can't even give them the edge on the defensive line. Definitely linebackers. Fred Warner's a dog. I'll give the 49ers the edge defensively because they got Armstead and Bosa. But the Rams got Donald, who's an absolute problem.
And they got Von Miller, too.
And they got Von Miller, who has strip sack in the last game. But the 49ers have been on the road for 3 straight weeks and games that they had to win. They just had to win. They all came down to the wire. That's the only way I see the Rams. Not the only way I see them winning, but like, that's why I think the Rams are going to win. But if it is close, if it gets into crunch time and it's like 20-20, I think the 49ers are probably going to pull it off. I think the Rams are going to get tight.
It's crazy, too, because if they're up 27-3 like the last game, I don't think the Rams, I don't think the 49ers have enough.
The 49ers can't come back. I mean, but they came back from 17.
They
just came back from 17-0 3 weeks ago.
So if Matt Stafford, because they have to win. It's kind of crazy, too. If the Rams lose, it is a huge failure. 49ers lose, it's like, damn, we weren't even supposed to be here, to be honest. Like we just started going on a tear and we believed in ourselves, but the Rams gave up everything to get to the Super Bowl. They got to do it. They have to. Just like you talked about last time, like if Stafford then would have lost a playoff game early, it would have been hell on earth.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams had all the pressure on them last game against the Bucks. They didn't really have any pressure in the wild card against the Cardinals. The Cardinals were just
They're fake news too.
Yeah, they were just sliding down. But literally all the pressure is going to be on the Rams this game. Like, yeah, the 49ers are definitely playing with house money. Jimmy G might be playing to stay in San Francisco, but even if the 49ers end up going to the Super Bowl and win, I still think they're going to be done with Jimmy G.
They will. I mean, they already drafted Trey Lance like third, which okay, but yeah, they'll be done with him if they win the Super Bowl. It's like, hey, man, we already made it since. Thanks for serving. And Jimmy G, to his credit, he's been a pro. He already knows what it is.
Yeah, he knows.
But he's been going out there playing. Nothing wrong with it.
He's auditioning for other teams at this point. Like, you can't just throw in the tank when you like know your situation. Like, you gotta be playing for the next job.
It's crazy too because I don't like the Rams just because they're so fake news. I want them to lose, but I don't think they're going to. I think the Rams are going to I think they're going to win by 10.
Like, it just has to catch up with them. I don't know. Like, the line tells me to take the 49ers, but it's hard to be a team 3 times in a year, and they haven't won since 2018 against the 49ers, so they are probably due for one. I'm hoping for a better line on Sunday.
Man, if Matt Stafford goes back to that Matt Stafford throwing 4 picks, oh boy. Oh boy.
He's going to get the Rams really cannot lose this game. It won't be as bad as Aaron Rodgers losing, but it's going to be pretty bad because they really sold out. Like I said in the first playoff podcast we did, like Sean McVay, like you went up to the management and you said, like, I need a real quarterback. I can't do this shit with Jared. Like, I just can't
after they paid the man.
And the Rams front office is like, yeah, we get it. And they got Matt Stafford, and it's been working thus far. And this is the game you got Matt Stafford for. This game right here against a divisional opponent that has been giving it to you for the past 3 fucking years. And this is where Sean McVay genius has to come out and get the Rams to win, because we just can't let the 49ers get to the Super Bowl and ruin the Super Bowl, because the Bengals are Kansas City versus the Rams will be a great game. The Bengals in Kansas City versus 49ers is going to be a slugfest. I'm trying to see what I saw in the Chiefs Bills again. And the Rams against whoever comes out of the AFC is the best chance of that happening.
I don't even think, we haven't had a football Super Bowl like that in a minute. Last year, Patrick Mahomes was fighting for his life just to get a snap off. They got smoked.
Oh, the Bucs came out to play, though.
I mean, then the year before that, it wasn't really a slugfest, but it still came down to the last couple plays with the Chiefs and 49ers. So,
yeah, I don't want to watch the 49ers. Like, they win me money there in the season betting on them, but I'm sick of watching.
I mean, I could watch that defense because they're no joke.
Yeah,
and I could watch Deebo Samuel. So
yeah, I was just getting ready to say, except Deebo, because I enjoy watching him, because that man is Deebo. He's just Deebo. He be running the ball like that man's a problem. Rams gotta stop him.
So we have right now Chiefs versus Rams. Okay, we'll be seeing when we do a Super Bowl preview.
And I bet on the Bengals, so I actually put that bet in. I took the points with it.
Okay. I got your Aki bet. Justin, man, these are the games. Just went over the games. There's still some NFL stuff. Obviously, just some quick hitters before we sign off. Sean Payton stepped down. Says he's not done coaching, but it's going to be taking a break from coaching, which to me, it just sounds like the Urban Myers thing, what he did with Florida, was in the booth for 1 year, then took the Ohio State job. I think Sean's just going to be in the booth somewhere. Then, no offense, Cowboys start messing up, and then he goes over there.
Personally, I would love that. But I think Sean Payton personally doesn't want to be the coach of this rebuild, because the Saints are about to be in full rebuild mode. They have no money and no quarterback. So that shit is getting stripped down to the studs.
And he showed how good he was. They're so one thing away from getting the playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to go into a season with no quarterback or a shitty team either. And yeah, I'll sit out and wait for another one too, a better opportunity.
Ben Roethlisberger also retired today after 18 years with the same team. kind of crazy, especially if you're from Ohio, because you know how he's from here and then dominating the Ohio teams for all 18 years. 2-time Super Bowl champ. Easily first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of Big Ben Roethlisberger because I hate the Steelers, but the man gained my respect because he was a dog. He was a dog. He was hard to bring down. Like he used to chuck that bitch deep. Like it was kind of hard watching him this year because that was not the Big Ben that we were used to seeing. And
Steelers blew it when they should have won a Super Bowl with him, Le'Veon, and AB. I understand 12 was still in New England, and that year that you lost at Jacksonville,
Bortles.
They should have won that. And one more thing with Aaron Rodgers, Justin, I'm sorry, they should have did this last year because we haven't name dropped our L7C quarterback. Kick Carson Wentz out, go get Aaron.
Absolutely. I feel like Indy's in play for Aaron Rodgers if he does leave.
Kick Carson out of there.
The Colts should have been in the playoffs. The Colts should have been in the playoffs. God, I'm so mad. Carson Wentz are making me look stupid. God.
At least Mac Jones and them didn't make you look stupid. You said they were going to be in the playoffs, the Patriots, and they did.
They did, but you texted the group message that like they were Super Bowl favorites. I just couldn't believe it.
At that point, they were.
They were like
a 7-game win streak.
I was like, come on now, like not this rookie. Like I know he kind of looks like Tom Brady, but no.
Especially after they beat the Bills, freaking whatever to 9-3, 9-6, and he only threw 3 times. They're like, oh, they're winning games when the dude. Bro, that's all
crazy. You needed to know. He didn't throw. They still won. That shit ain't gonna work in the playoffs. Oh, that's all I needed to see. I was like, oh, bro, like,
hey, run game and defense. Bullshit. Run game and defense travels with you in the playoffs, man, because you know you can't be thrown all the time in them conditions.
You can't, but you need an offense now. Like 3 of the 4 teams in the championship round, offensive teams.
Oh yeah, but it's crazy too. At that point in time, the Bills were going on a free fall. And then here they were about to go to the NFC Championship game. Justin, anything else, man, before we close off today?
Man, I just got to mention something funny that I watched this week.
No.
I was watching Real Sports like I do every Tuesday towards the end of the month when they come out.
Guess we didn't talk about him yet. All right.
And my man Bryant Gumbel got to sit down with Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys can look up that interview, please watch it. Antonio Brown looks fried. He looks high as shit, has his lawyer with him. And he's essentially about to sue the NFL under the collective bargaining agreement because he said that he was injured and Bruce Arians told him he was fired. And you can't do that to injured players. So just stay tuned for that. It might get a little messy. I know it's he said, she said right now, but AB is lawyered up.
And that lawyer is about to get rich. He said, I knew it was bad when I watched this thing where he was talking about like, oh, he doesn't have any mental problems. He's not in no crazy house. I was like, bro, you can't say that. Oh boy.
Nah, he said they said on the interview that the Bucks tried to pay him $2,000 to go to the crazy house, which he probably should have because I don't give a fuck what he says. That man ain't mentally right. Reckless speculation on my part. I don't care. He ain't right. So
you take a chance on him since he's talking about going to the Ravens?
Absolutely not. Nope.
Yeah.
There are too many receivers coming out of college that I could draft that are 10 times less a headache. That man will not play in the NFL again. He's hard though. Hall of Famer too. We probably won't get to it because he's a dick, but Hall of Fame talent for sure.
Oh yeah, but T.O. got held out for less. That's all. That's not my case study on it.
T.O. should have been first ballot. He was going to get in, but they were like, "We ain't letting you in first ballot though,"
which is disrespectful.
Petty, absolutely.
That's the NFL rules, man. But thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure you check out the AFC NFC Championship game so we know who we're going to see in the Super Bowl. And hopefully, as Justin said, I mean, I don't like the Rams, but I think they're going to win just so we can have a Rams-Chiefs Super Bowl. or Bengals. And then you have the whole, if the Bengals win, pray for the city of Cincinnati because that place will be gone that night.
Oh my God. It'll burn down. It will burn down. This town ain't ready for a Super Bowl. This town ain't ready. I mean, I ref basketball, and my assigners for Sunday are having the hardest goddamn time trying to find people to work these games at 3:00 on Sunday. Is everyone watching the game?
No, everyone's watching the game. It's going to be wild. But thank you, everyone, for listening to the L7C podcast. Everyone, take care. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.